Welcome back to Double Down University. I'm back at you guys with another college basketball prize picks video. And today I have two props on today's slate that I like for today. I like Chucky Hepburn over 15.5 points, or you can hedge that with his fantasy as well. I like to go just points because fantasy can get kind of tricky, especially when you get turnovers and you turn the ball over a lot, which point guards, when they have the ball in their hands a lot, they're more susceptible to turnovers, and that can kind of kill your fantasy score. And also, it's a kind of high line on this game at 13, so you want to kind of avoid the potential for him to be subbed out in a blowout, and he needs like a couple more fantasy points because of turnovers. So I want to stick to straight points. And then we have Wonga Popular over 13.5 points for Villanova going up against DePaul. So we're going to notice you guys are going to notice a theme today that I'm kind of honing in on. It's just bad defenses, shot makers against bad defenses. So with Popular, he has an advantage at all three levels for Villanova. They don't really have a free throw advantage against DePaul, and then Villanova doesn't really attack the rim to try to get fouled. It's a 221st in the country at being able to draw fouls and get to the line. So I just like him overall in this spot. Now, granted, I'll give you a little backstory on Popular. So he got suspended for throwing a punch a couple games ago, and so the coach of Villanova basically benched him for a game. Or had him coming off the bench, I should say, not bench him, but have him come off the game when he came back from suspension. But his last game that he played against Creighton, which was on Saturday, he ended up scoring 24 points and only playing 25 minutes. He was 10 of 17 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3, 3 for 3 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 5 steals. So I really like him in this spot. So what I did is kind of look at all the teams that he's played against and went over this line. And I just basically paired it with effective field goal percentage against the team that he's going up against. And then also defensive rating against. Well, actually, no, I'm going to switch it up. So we're going to go effective field goal percentage. And then we're going to go with just 2-point defense. Right, field goal percentage against. So these are all the teams that he's went over against. And as you can see, there is a theme that they're in the bottom quadrant of one of the worst teams as far as giving up points, whether it's in the paint or anywhere on the floor. And the most comparable matchup is Penn, and we'll go back and we'll look at his matchup when he played against Penn. So when he played against Penn, let me see here. Let's go points. When he played against Penn, he had 19 points and only played 25 minutes as well. He was 6 for 11. And he also only shot 2 free throws, but he made 2 of his 2 free throws, which is really good. Because if you guys watch college basketball, you know it's death taxes and college kids missing free throws. So we kind of want somebody that is a really, really solid free throw shooter. And this game is played on the road. So on the road, he averages actually more minutes than he plays at home. He averages 35 minutes a game as opposed to only 27 at home. And he also shoots a better free throw percentage on the road as opposed to home, which is crazy. 85% compared to 83. He's a slightly worse three-point shooter on the road as opposed to home. He's almost a 40% three-point shooter at home compared to on the road. But he also attempts one more shot on the road as opposed to home. And he attempts way more free throws on the road, as he averages around 5.7 free throws attempted on the road as opposed to only 2.3 at home. So I really, really like him in this spot. He is one of the Villanova scorers outside of Dixon. I know Logino had a pretty good stretch where he's been scoring lately, but I just think that as far as just bucket getter, I think he's one of the best on the team, Popular. So I'm not going to be long-winded on him. So let's get into our second pick. Our second pick is Chucky Hepburn. And pretty much you guys have kind of figured out the theme is that we're going up against bad defenses that allow a bunch of points at all 3 levels. And as you can see here, same scenario. They have an advantage at all 3 levels, 3-point, mid-range, and near proximity as well. And they have a huge, huge free throw shooting advantage as Boston College does not like to keep their hands to themselves, as they're 314th in the country at being able, at fouling, I should say. And also, Louisville is going to take advantage of that, as they're 34th in the country at being able to get to the line and draw fouls. Now, granted, we do have a little bit of a disparity as far as pace-wise. Boston College wants to slow the pace down, as they're 245th in the country in pace, as well as Louisville wants to speed it up at 102, but I think it's more going to dictate towards Louisville's tempo, because with Boston College being down, they will have to play at Louisville's pace, and they'll have to speed up their game a little bit more in order to stay in the game and keep it manageable to where it stays close down the wire. Now, granted, Boston College does have a 3-point shooting advantage over Louisville, so that can alone keep them in the game if they're hitting their threes to make the game closer and be able to keep Chucky in the game a little longer. And then same thing for him. I did the same thing, put all his overs against the teams that he's faced, and I kind of paired it with effective field goal percentage against and free throws attempted per game, because that is the big advantage in this game. And as you can see here, it's off the charts as far as Boston College. There's nobody near that he went over against that is close to Boston College when it comes to fouling, as they average almost 23 fouls per game. The only closest comparable matchup is Florida State, but if you notice what I basically told you guys yesterday, anything below 50%, of effective field goal percentage is really good in college. So he managed to go over against a tough Florida State team that allows effective field goal percentage of only 47%, and Boston College is way worse than them. And then a comparable matchup as well as far as bad defenses go is Syracuse. So let's look back at those two matchups, what he did against Florida State and Syracuse. So against Syracuse, he managed to put up 24 points playing 37 minutes. He was 8 of 13 from the field. He made both of his free throws. So again, we're targeting good free throw shooters, because if you're going to get there, we want at least to make it count. And then also the matchup against Florida State, he managed to get 16 points on the head. He only went 5 for 12 from the field. He was 3 for 3 from the free throw line. He made 3 threes as well. So I really like him in this spot to go over this line. Another way you can kind of hedge him, like I said, you can do fantasy, you can do points and assists, but I just want to stick to just points, because that is their big advantage. If they get in a bonus early in the first half or second half, he can kind of chip away at that 15.5 line. So I really like him in that spot as well. And then they are, so they're on the road as well. So on the road, he averages 18 points, which is better than at home. And he also plays 36 minutes compared to only 32 minutes at home, as well as his field goal percentage drastically increases 14% on the road, as he shoots 48% from the field on the road as opposed to 34%. His free throw percentage goes up as well, 2 points or 2%, shooting 85% from the free throw line as well. And then also his field goal attempts raises on the road as opposed to home. He attempts 12 shots as opposed to 8. And also his free throw attempts goes down, but I think that is not really indicative of the matchup. And in this matchup, he should see the free throw line a whole lot more. So those are my two for you guys. I don't want to be kind of long-winded. I want to kind of get those out to you guys and real quick so you guys can lock those in. So Chucky Hepburn over 15.5 points, as well as Wenga Popular over 13.5 points. I appreciate you guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, and best of luck, and let's catch.